So had it been that I had a lot of capital, I would have gone into commercial cattle farming. And when I say commercial, I wouldn't actually have enough time to go into the breeding and take care of them. Though I would spend some part of my money into buying the younger breed and take care of them. But largely, I would actually go into buying and reselling. So just like the way you would want to buy them young, take care of them for years before you resell to make your profits, I wouldn't have that patience. What I will be doing is that I will buy them, I will roam, I will get a place that I can get them cheaper. Then I will now advertise and make money out of it. So if I have money, there are cows that currently I am selling them. And if you check my page on TikTok and even on YouTube here, you'll be able to see some of them that I post. These are cheap. Buying a cow 5,000, buying a cow 6,000 is very cheap. Now it's very cheap. For me, my target market is the Muslims, and it is at the Eid al-Adha time when they are buying most of this livestock. Trust me, that time, if you are able to get this thing, you are buying 5,000 today. When it is time for Eid al-Adha in the 2024, gosh, the price will escalate. It will be crazy, eh? You understand? So something you buy for 5,000, as at 2024, I am projecting that you'll be able to sell it 100% of the profit of the amount you invested. So trust me, if I have money right now, I would not actually go into anything, but I will go into cattle farming. And because there's huge profit in it, but at the same time, it also has its challenges. So the benefits of cattle farming is that if you are into cattle farming, you wouldn't really see them dying plenty compared to different type of livestock, like sheep, like goats. Those ones, they die. You understand? So I've met a rich man a few days ago, and he was telling me, no, as for sheep farming, he wouldn't go into it. It's a waste of time. Goat farming, no. Our African goat, no. He trusts cattle farming. Because he's a rich man, he has a lot of experience. So he must have tried the cattle farming, the sheep farming and co, and it really didn't work. And me as a young guy who have come inside, I can testify that, see, if you fear mortality of livestock, there is no need for you to go into sheep and goat farming, no. Though you can reduce the tendency, especially sheep. Sheep is even more fragile than goats. Sheep, they die even plenty than goats. From my little experience I've acquired in just almost in a year now, I can vividly tell you that I have been into sheep farming, and I can tell you that sheep die plenty than goats and worse compared to cow. Yes. So this is a free advice I'm giving to you. So if you have money and you are planning, you really have the investment capacity, you can go into cow farming. But the challenge there is that with cattle farming too, there is mortality, but it wouldn't be occurring as sheep. Maybe if you're able to take care of them very well and they are not affected by any external factors, maybe you have mortality very low. But the challenge there is that if one cow dies, if you lose one cow, it is equivalent to losing about 5 sheep or 6 or 7 ram. You understand? It's equivalent. And you need to study which one could recover the debts that you incur. So if one of your cow dies, and if you sell another cow, you can get the cost of that cow and even the cost of the cow that died. Then it is worth going into cattle farming. Do you understand? Let's say you have 2 cows and one cow died. It cost 5,000 to get that cow. And the other cow is also cost 5,000 to get them. Both of them, 5,000, so that's 10,000. So one of the cow died, left with one. And you can resell this remaining cow at 10,000. That means you can recover the amount you invested. Though time has entered inside, your efforts, the food that you acquired, you understand, your place of you know, they sleep. The veterinary service injecting them and all those things have entered inside. So let's say you can even sell the 5,000 cow that you bought the 3 or 6 months back. You can sell it maybe in the time of Eid al-Adha at 10,000 or 11,000. Trust me, with that kind of mentality and that kind of opportunity, you'll be able to recoup the amount you've invested, even if you didn't make profits. Do you understand? So I just used an example of 2 cows. Imagine you have 20 or 30 or 200 cattle. So let's say you experience a mortality of 5 out of it in an entire year. Or let's say 10 died. In 1 year, 10 died. So if 10 died, that means that you have 190 cattle remaining out of the 200. So if you were to go into selling 100 of them, is it possible you'll be able to get the money of the 10 that you have lost? And is it possible to make profit out of it? Is it possible to also cover the other cost items such as veterinary services, accommodation, feeding and things? Is it possible to recover that? If it is possible, then that makes a lot of sense to go into what? Cattle farming. So the issue with cattle farming is that it has a great potential of recouping what the loss you incur. Just like the way it has a great loss. If you lose 1 cattle, it is worth the price of 5 sheep or 5 cow, a rams. That's the same way. If you can sell and recoup that way, then it makes sense to go into cattle farming. And that is why a lot of people choose cattle farming over other type of livestock farming. So if I had money, that is where I would go, cattle farming, because that is where there's money. And if you are patient enough, you can make a lot of money out of cattle farming. But the biggest challenge with cattle farming is the feeding. You need to work your feeding before you think of going into any type of livestock. So if you haven't worked how you can get feed in a cheapest possible way, then do not venture into livestock farming, especially if you're in the cities. But if you're in the village, it makes sense. You can get grasses outside and things. You can get chaff. But now Ghana is spoiled. Even the chaff they are selling, the cocoa chaff, the alcohol chaff or the malt chaff, now is now for sale. It's no more cheap again. So if you are in Accra, trust me, if you are located somewhere in Accra, you will spend a lot of money. I think in the next video, I will talk about how people get the chaff and how difficult it is and how easy it is and where you can get yours if you are located in some particular locations. Thank you very much. I'm very grateful for your time. Kindly subscribe to this channel. I'm grateful. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.